Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the Hong Kong Sevens final between France and New Zealand. This game is going to mean a lot for these two sides. France are the defending champions, getting themselves their first title win in over 19 years. That was with Antoine Dupont, and he is no longer there. But what they do still have is what they had prior to Dupont, and that is that French flair, that French spirit. And I honestly believe whether they have them or not, they are a top contender on the Sevens circuit. Then for New Zealand, they are a side that have been able to go from strength to strength over the last 12 months or so. But every once in a while, things go slightly wrong for them, which is why they find themselves sitting as about the third or fourth or maybe even sixth ranked team at the moment in the current rankings. Of course, if they win this title here, though, they will go a little bit further up. Looking through at the French starting lineup, it is going to be Pasquet, Zidar, Grandier, Steven Perez-Martin, Nelson Epi, Andy Timo, and also Jordan Sefo. Then for New Zealand, Tupai Cook-Savage, Fihi Finina-Norfo, Moses Leo, Regan Weir, Dylan Collier, Scott Curry, and Andrew Newstub there. Looks like the French, I think they were having a little bit of a laugh there. I don't know what happened. I think that Joseph Jefferson Lee thought the national anthem had ended, so he started jumping around and doing some warm-ups, and then they still had another verse left. But now New Zealand's national anthem will be playing Bulavaraka from Fiji for the Kiwis, says Kalera. I think this will be a very tight game. I think that this will be, or they are evenly matched. Teams are well, Hamish. Last one streamed to the weekend, sleep well, says Kevin, and just watched the women's game. Looked very sharp. Great game from them, says Pete D. Yeah, very strong performance from the New Zealand women's side. Now the men going to try and back it up, making it back-to-back titles for across the board, men and women. Can they do it, though? That's the question. Of course, New Zealand did not win the last leg. It was France. Got themselves the victory. The women's side doing very well as of late. Let's go, Kiwi Lads. May the best team win, says Blues Nate. There is a lot on the line, like I mentioned. Points are crucial at this stage of the competition, as there's only one more leg, and then we head to Madrid. The top 8 sides, they will be playing off for the title. The sides that are ranked 9th through 12th, they will be playing for their position on the Sevens circuit. There is a chance that every side, 9, 10, 11, 12, could go missing next year from these competitions, and instead 4 new challengers could burst their way onto the scene. If France win without Dupont, their little tiny ponytail France guy will be happy. Says, and I agree. I think that, to be honest, like, this is a unpopular opinion because everyone is so fond of Antoine Dupont. But they were going to win a Sevens leg soon, whether he was a part of their side or whether he wasn't. I honestly believe even without Dupont, they would have been able to win that last competition, or at least would have won one soon, bro. You're not doing any 15s rugby today, says Aiden. That is true. We did the champ, although depending on what time you count as today, like New Zealand time, we've done 2 games already throughout this stage. The Champions Cup game between Bulls and Lyon, and also the match between the Stormers and La Rochelle. 4 hours of rugby union already has been covered on the channel. Today we have got there, does the Olympics also have tournament points? Says Hanoi, I don't believe so. The points that we are playing for here, of course, are a part of the World Sevens circuit, and then after that is finished, then that is when the Olympics takes place. So points in that, like, of course, your group stage points are important because that'll get you through to the playoffs. Are you going to do any games tonight? Says Aiden, we are not, no. The Sharks game for the Challenge Cup isn't being shown here in New Zealand, and then also a couple of the other games. That guy's posing like Usain Bolt on the halfway line there, one of the young players, or one of the young kids who have brought the ball out onto the field. AJ Jacobs will be in charge of this one. New Zealand will be kicking off from right to left for this game up against France. Allez la France, says Magali there. Okay, kid, get off the field. Says, it's a bit harsh, Nov. Mummy's getting his moment. That's probably going to be something that that young child will remember for the rest of his life. He was making the most. 5 seconds of fame. You got to let him have that. Now, it's going to be kicked off by New Zealand. Nicely taken by Zidar. And taken down by Dylan Collier. Now Pasquet passes back across to the right-hand side. Steven Perez-Martin. Pasquet going across to Grandier. Zedar. It's going to be all about early possession for the French, building phases and keeping their handling error count low. Big Feng coming in again from Zedar. Big work in the breakdown though from Finian Norfolk, who is pushed out of it by Grandier. 4 men on the short side for the French. Pasquet dragged down again by Tupaya Cook-Savage. Counter ruck coming from New Zealand. They can't get the ball though. An early bit of possession for France. Zedar fend in the face of Regan where ball was loose. Steven Perez-Martin makes the tackle. Newstub crawling off his feet. What's that penalty for? It's going to go in favour of New Zealand. I think they've said side entry, but I think Newstub, first of all, was not supporting his body weight in that breakdown. So they've probably got relatively lucky in that regard. The point double says, Ivan, fun fact, he's not actually playing. And the Sevens, he is, of course, going to be joining back up with the squad soon. But for this one, he is not in the squad. Now it's going to be the scrum bead for the New Zealanders. Andrews Newstub will be able to feed this ball in. We've got there the Kiwis 26-19 is the prediction from Roy. And OA says Ivan, and also yes, bring the gold home. Says Calera, but Andrew Newstub put the ball in for New Zealand, 25 metres out from the French line. A little bit of early movement there at scrum time, but it has been well regathered. And now they will go away to the right-hand side here. The All Blacks Sevens out wide to Moses Leo. What a face machine fend. Says Hanoi. Back across. Curry goes to Finian Norfolk. Showing off his step. Gets round Zedar. Jordan Sefo finishes the job. Of course, he got himself a yellow card in one of the more recent contests for the French. Finian Norfolk. Back across to Collier. Curry. Finian Norfolk again. This time he's knocked the ball on. What's the scoreline right now, mate? Says Ivan, it is still nil between the two sides after only the 2.5 minutes. So neither side being able to break through. This looks like there might be an injury here for one of the New Zealand players. But Norfolk just dropping that ball. France broke a 19-year cup title drought with the win in the LA Sevens, which was, of course, not too far away, or not too long ago. I should say this looks like it's actually Scott Curry who has stayed down. New Zealand have had 67 cup titles. France have just had the 2. Can New Zealand win, says Danston. They've got a good chance. We're going to see, oh yeah, that's the ankle of Scott Curry. Unfortunately, just got it twisted underneath the French player. He's trying to walk it off. It looks like he's going to continue, but this is a bit of a risk here for New Zealand. Yes, he's got such experience, but you've also got to remember, if you have a player out there who's less than 100%, all of a sudden you are playing with 6.5 players. And that gives the opposition a 0.5 advantage in a gap just round the outside of him, perhaps, is where France will look to target. And probability for New Zealand to win, I'd say it's about a 70-30 in terms of the overall betting odds. If Joe Parker played rugby, he could have been a prop. Says Hanoi. Could have been. He could have been a few positions. He's quite tall as well, so a lock possibly, or a flanker could suit him quite well. Big number 8. Who caught a yellow card, says Joseph. No one at the moment, but in that last game that I was talking about for France, Jordan Sefo did get that yellow card. Space opening up for Nelson Epi. Now offloaded up to Pasquet. They are now on the halfway line here. Lebleur out wide to Jordan Sefo. Steps round 1. Last ditch tackle made by Finian Norfolk up to the 22. And Zedar is injured in back play. So now France are the team playing with the disadvantage. The reason I was saying that there was a disadvantage is because Scott Curry's ankle was injured. So that is why I said that they were at a little bit of a disadvantage there. Now your bias now says, Ivan, I mean, I can get you the TAB odds and that will tell you exactly what you need to know. But we'll go here. This doesn't look good for Zedar, though. It doesn't look like France want to take this one quickly. And instead they are going to wait. He's coming off the field. That's a huge hit for them right there. Right, I'm trying to find it. Rugby Union. New Zealand are $1.78 favourites compared to France $2.30. So that's probably about 60-40 at the moment. And that is because France are on attack. So, yeah, it was about 70-30. Just fell over in back play. I mentioned about it. Michaela Blyde, her foot disappeared when she was going to take the quick tap. That is because of the way that the pitch is at the moment. There are a lot of little rut holes. I'll go, mate, just saying. Says Ivan and go New Zealand. Says Kalera. New Zealand are 12-time cup holders in Hong Kong. I says Robert as well. And will the French do the people's elbow when they start losing? Says Hanoi. I don't think so. I think that they'll be hopefully in it for the long haul here. They were able to get themselves a comfortable win over Ireland in their semi-final. Nicely tackled there again, New Zealand. France. Looking for another one. I've just mentioned how France actually make the most offloads of most sides out of the Sevens leg. That's going to be knocked on from Stephen Perez-Martin. He wasn't expecting it. And we've got there Hanoi, Adadu, the Ongbuk style. Says Ivan. Yeah, Curry's struggling. He's walking around on that ankle. I don't think he should be out there on the field. I know he brings experience for New Zealand, but just trying to put weight on that leg looks like it's just causing more damage. And if there's a line break and Curry's the only man who has a hope of being able to catch one of the French players, unfortunately, you're probably going to see France score there. So I think that they have to be very strategic with how they use this. Curry needs to go off. Says no, but that's the thing. They've got capable players off the bench. Maybe it's just more of the case of they're trying to wait as long as they physically can. But he might go down like Zadar soon. Big fend from Moses Leo. Foot race between him and Grandier. Look for the offload. Pasquet keeps the ball alive. That is fantastic handling from the French. The ball bounces out the side. Andrew Newstub hit him with the high shot. But it's going to be a knock-on from New Zealand. That mention wasn't missed. I was wondering if you boys had tuned in yet. Is this half really going to be scoreless? There's a chance that it could be. Maybe Curry is trying to stay out there as long as possible to save the bench, says Hanoi. Which, don't get me wrong, is very noble and that's very cool per se. But, you know, he's still less than 100% and in sevens up against a side like France. We've got to remember these guys score tries normally for fun. And, you know, like, you're saving a guy maybe an extra 2 minutes. Just got here, I missed the mention, says Grant, and we will keep it that way. Now running forward, Pasquet, 30 seconds remaining in this first half. Short side here for Andy Timu. And take him out. Come on, Curry, get the F off, says Spider-Mac. Now another knock on there. Ball is loose. Scrumpy for New Zealand. And this will be about 15 metres out from the line. Looks like Pasquet also a bit slow. Getting back up to his feet. Great shot from Regan Ware. Always supporting the channel, sir. Says Fleschen. And there as well. But yeah, great shot from Regan Ware. Put it into the midsection. Even okay. Blues, it's a popular old Thai action movie. There you go. Little bit of general knowledge. New Zealand, get a try, please. Says Novmum. Currently they are on attack. They've got themselves the scrum opportunity here. Andrew Newstub to feed this ball and we are past the halftime siren. Now passing. It's going to be another drop ball, but it's gone backwards. So it is going to be play on. No, it's called as a knock on at half time in this game is what I was trying to say. It is going to be 0-0 between these two sides. You can't split them at the moment. Southern Hemisphere all the way, says Justin. Come on, New Zealand, says Kalara. And hey, says Jai. Welcome in, mate. You are doing extremely well. So currently the way that it sits, New Zealand are $1.70 favourites. Back Baby Elephant Scene. Do yourself a solid, or back Baby Elephant Scene. Do yourself a solid YouTube it. Like to give it a look. Boring, says Spider Mick. I want to say it's been boring. I think it's just been even, is a better way of describing it. Like, yes, you're not seeing all those, like, huge score lines and big tries being scored, but you're getting a final that can still go either way. And, you know, like 14-14, they're still at the same boat as what those men would be, other than the fact that they haven't crossed the try line. Come on, France, says Joy. And there as well. But the second half just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. New Zealand probably had a little bit more of the possession in the early and late stages of the game. But then France, during that middle patch of the first half, that was when they had more of their success. We have got there, why you're not making any live stream, says David. I assume you're talking about showing the game, and the reason behind it is licensing. If I was to show any match footage or audio, YouTube take you straight down for copyright infringement. And then you also have a chance of getting sued for copyright infringement, which would cost a lot of money, unfortunately. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no way of showing match footage and audio without paying broadcasting fees beforehand, or else it's illegal. Nick, you have some good memory and great childhood stuff. And Dan, does that mean I have to support France if we're doing the hemisphere thing? Says Fleshing it up to Kiwi, says Craig. And good evening, Hamish, says Daniel Cox. Welcome in, mate. Hope I keep him well and late call for the knock on. Yeah, I think it was the assistant who did call it. Please tell the scores. It's currently 0-0. Going into the second half now. We have to wait and see who gets themselves their win. That man dressed as Hulk Hogan. Oh, that guy's got a Jonah Lomu kit as well, with his Hulkamania attire. Now, second half, France will be kicking off from right to left. We are yet to see a try, and we are yet to see a point scored in this men's final. Grandidier puts the pressure on New Zealand, but the penalty goes the way of the Kiwis. The mighty France, let's go, says a green zone boy. If no try second half, that's it. I'm on my way to Hong Kong, says Spider-Mick, although they will go to golden point time. So I think it will take a bit longer for you to get to Hong Kong than it will for the golden point. And come on, New Zealand, is the bro Leroy Carter on the bench, Hamish? He is not playing in Hong Kong. Off the bench, they've got Cody Vai, Shea Clark, Tony Nashu, and then also Brady Rush and Xavier Tito Harris. Curry's still limping. I don't understand this from New Zealand unless they've got no other player who can go into his position, because if that ends up costing them, it's their own fault. He's playing at about 30% at the moment. The man dressed as Hulk Hogan jumped on into that character with both feet. He looks pretty jacked as well. He was on the same juice as Hulk Hogan was. And now Regan Ware sitting 45 metres out. Back across to the left-hand side. Here's Scott Curry trying to run forward, getting ripped around all over the place from Pasquet, and France almost able to get themselves that turnover, but the penalty goes the way of New Zealand. Bring it home, Kiwis, let's go. Why is New Zealand playing so bad? Take off Curry now. And elbow on head batting G's. Good afternoon, what happens if no score? So if there was no score, we go to golden point time, which is pretty much extra time to determine, you just get 1 point in that and you do win this match. And there's a chance that we could go to that at the moment. Both sides have had some good moments throughout the first 9 minutes of this. I haven't wanted it. One guy beats 20 dudes with Elephant's help, says Hanoi. Now New Zealand taking the quick tap. Back across. Finyanofo goes to Moses Leo. New Zealand once again make their way into the 22. That will be the penalty going against France for not rolling away. These repeat infringements are heavily costing the French meters. Now past our wide. Andrew Newstab. Curry does score it in the corner. Now, of course, they'll go, that's why we kept him on. But I think that if they had anyone out there, no offense to them, but I think they would have gone very close. They're going to check it. Nope, they are not going to check it. They reward it as the try, and Scott Curry gets over. That is his first in Hong Kong. Is that the last that he's doing today, or are they going to make him stay out there for a little bit longer? But Timo gets it down. Nicely done by Scott Curry. That man is an absolute machine. And, I mean, most men would have been taken off by now. But he's still out there. And Bulla says, Utamlal, hopefully I've said that correctly. What's the time left? There is still another 4 minutes remaining. The kick has kicked away to the right. So it makes the score now 5-0 for New Zealand. Straight in feet first. Says Flesh in there. And the voice is almost gone. Can I take it back, Hemi? Says Spider Mick. Wait, is DuPont not playing Champions Cup? He is, yeah. That's probably from the thumbnail, but it's pretty much just because he is going to be back very soon. And, oh, that's another one for New Zealand. Cody Vi gets over and the floodgates have opened now for the Kiwis. That gives them a bit more of a comfortable lead. No score in the first half, says Glenn Woods, and already 2 tries in the second 4 minutes. He actually won the ladies one. New Zealand managed to win it about 36-7, I believe it was, in the end. Yes, says Calera, but it's another try. Cody Vi gets the offload from Brady Rush. So I think they have now taken Curry off. And Cody Vi goes from the... Oh, no, he's way back in the field. He was cover defending, I think, there, but then that might have also been because he can hardly run. Come on, France, says Jai. And bring it home, boys, says Glenn and Hong Kong double, says Ivan. The crowd are absolutely loving it at the moment. And the kick hit the post, bounced back out. So it is now going to be 10-0. How are you feeling, Hamish? I don't understand why he's not playing. He played well in the Australian Sevens. I think there's an injury. I could be wrong. Of course, you will know better than me, but it's either injury or just rotation in the squad because they are trying to give a few of these other guys a bit more of a run. Ball's available at the back for Brady Rush. Now going off to the right-hand side. 2 minutes 20 remaining on the clock. Cody Vine now getting slammed down by Pasquet. There was a knock on there. Okay. So Cody Vi was just saying that that was not a knock on. And I think he's correct. It came off the foot of a French player. And it's been ruled as the knock-on. There's Dan Carter. What's he doing there? I think he's a Sevens ambassador, so that is why he is there. But he's getting a big round of applause from the crowd. A few of the ladies giving him a big wave. Awesome at the moment. Says Joke the Woke. And New Zealand 10 says Utum Lal. How are you feeling? Have you had any lemon and honey today? I haven't yet, but I'll probably have something afterwards. But yeah, this is the last live stream that we have got of the day. And did you see Skelton Shield injured? Or Skelton Shield injured, grounded Stormers captain. I mean, Will Skelton tried to injure like 4 players for the Stormers. Like he tried to get rid of Marnie Libok at one point. He was playing a pretty dirty game overall, but just ended up with the 1 yellow card. Dan Carter always puts his best foot forward. Randiri, back across to Joseph Jefferson Lee. Another offload coming there for the French. They are down by 10, so they can still get back into this contest. They need to try now, though, to be able to help it out. Please, New Zealand, don't play for the crowd. Play for the win, the game, and don't get mad and use elbow, says Ivan. And they're in DC, been in Japan, says Glenn Woods. Now, just a minute or so left on the clock. Jonathan Legel again has been taken down, and that is going to be the knock-on there. But he shielded the unconscious Stormer captain. Oh, yeah, he also did that. Sorry, I read that completely wrong, didn't I? But yeah, he did actually... That was when Salman Morat was down, wasn't it? If I'm correct. So yeah, he did some good things and some bad things. I still don't know whether Will Skelton's a nice guy. Like, off the field, I'm sure he is. But on the field, like, he does things. Like, he'll smash someone, and then he'll be like, oh, mate, you all right, mate? Like, we're all good, aren't we? Like, he's a strange player, but he's a big boy, isn't he, for La Rochelle? I think New Zealand might just win. Says Novmum. New Zealand with 20 seconds remaining. Going off to the short side. Tito Harris off the bench. Brilliantly protected, although it was by Cody Vi up until the ball went out the back door for the French. Pauline Riva. They've got 11 seconds. They need to break through. He's done just that there. Now running hard. 5 seconds remaining on the clock. 2, 1. They get it down. They don't have to take the conversion. I think with time up, they don't want to take it. He's saying they don't want to take it. What's going to happen here? I think Jefferson Joseph Lee is saying he doesn't want to take it, but they have to take it, says AJ Jacobs. And that's the end of the game, 10-7. Okay, that was a bit of an anticlimactic finish, but France, they scored it before the siren went, but they still had to take the kick, even though Joseph Jefferson Lee was saying, no, we don't want to take it. We want to take the kickoff instead, seeing as it was still within the time frame. But I believe to be able to do that, you need 5 seconds on the clock or something along those lines. But yeah, certainly not the way that we thought this game would end. But New Zealand, they will win it 10-7 and up the Kiwis. Catch you next week for the Super Rugby. Hamish, rest up. Hope you feel better soon, brother. Says Bear Flavel. And there as well, Buzzkill says Joke the Woke. And also we'll take it though. Rules are rules, says Nick M. But yeah, I think that the rule is you've got to have it within 5. Like you have to have 5 seconds remaining or something like that. I could be wrong there. That's just... In fact, I think the referees are still talking to Pasquet. Now, I hope that is... Okay, I just saw him say 5 seconds. So yeah. Like, you need 5 seconds left on the clock to be able to skip the conversion and go back to halfway. Or even just to be having one last play. So they only had 2 seconds or so, which means they didn't have enough time to have that next reset, if that makes sense. Thought it was 20 minutes for a final, Amish. It hasn't been 20 minutes for a final since we started covering the Sevens on the channel, which was about 3.5 years ago. So yeah, it's been 14-minute finals for a very long time. I love you, Hamish. Says Calera. Oh, the guy with his Hulk Hogan kit. He did the rip of the shirt as well. And that's a double. Says Glenn Woods and wonderful feet. Take this tournament from New Zealand. Says Grant, and also thanks Hamish. Take time and feel better soon. Says Gus. And there as well, but Scott Curry, big performance from him, even though he was playing with an injury pretty much all throughout that final. He still managed to get over for one of New Zealand's 2 tries. The other was scored by Cody Vi, and then just the one for the French, that was Pasquet, who did manage to score it. So New Zealand won the men's, New Zealand won the women's. The next leg of the Sevens, for anyone wondering, will be taking place, and it's a little fair wait. 3rd of May is going to be when the next legs do take place. That is in Singapore. Our player of the day is Hamish, doing comments with a croaky voice. Says Glenn Woods. Hamish, look after yourself, says Sulla. And there, and thanks, mate, says Craig. And there as well, and Quincy's got the thumbs up. But yeah, nonetheless, we will be back next weekend, ladies and gentlemen, with Super Rugby. The weekend after that, the URC starts back up, so we are going to be covering those games on the channel as well. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Squeeze a lemon into your throat, bro. Says Yikes. I don't know about squeezing one directly in there, but I think that oranges are supposed to be good for you while you're a bit under the weather. So I'll have an orange. We'll see how that goes. I hope for the best. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. It has been greatly appreciated. You all being here all throughout the weekend. I know that the commentary at times probably hasn't been the nicest to listen to because of my voice, because of me having a mute because I was sneezing or coughing or anything like that. But it is still much appreciated that you guys were willing to stick it out with me. And then, yeah, hopefully it's better by next week and we get to do a little bit more commentary than we did this week as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much. I can now speak to my wife, says Fleshin. Well, tell her I say hi, Fleshin. She probably, does she know who I am? Probably not. And honey lemon for the throat, says Glenn Woods. And also, yikes, no home remedy, says Ivan. And there as well. And the commentary is feet away, or feet ahead of everyone else, says Grant. Yay, more feet references, eh? There's going to be a few of those. And thank you, says Robert. And also, thank you very much, says Calera. And there as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.